Behavioral interviewing. What is a behavioral question? Behavioral questioning is a line of questioning that can be very helpful in determining how a job candidate will act by determining what they have done in the past. In other words, you're looking for a past behavior that will tell you what that candidate will do in the future. With a behavioral questioning, you might ask questions such as, tell me about a time when you blank, or tell me about what you would do blank, or how did you handle the last time blank, whatever your question for this particular job candidate is. Behavioral questioning is more favorable in finding out past behaviors, as I said, to determine future behaviors. So how do you get started with a behavioral line of questioning? For starters, you're not going to hold your job candidate underneath of a magnifying glass for too long in direct sunlight. He'll burst into flames and probably sweat a lot more than this little guy is in the animation. And that's no good for nobody. To get started with behavioral interviewing, you need to identify the skills. What skill set are you looking for this particular job candidate? What are your job requirements going to be? You're going to use probing questions that dig deeper into this candidate's mind, dig deeper into his skill set to find out what it is he or she has done in the past. And you'll need to ask follow-up questions for every question that you ask. Just basically giving the candidate time or a reason to further explain the situation. Don't be transparent with your questioning during a behavioral interview. Don't ask simple yes or no questions. You need to ask things that will require the candidate to think about their answer and expand upon it. Dig deeper for specific details. Once you find out that the job candidate knows the skill that you're looking for, dig deeper for something specific. Look for a specific action or something very unique to the situation. And finally, you need to find out what that candidate learned from the experience of the specific situation. For example, you're looking for a candidate with good organizational skills that prioritizes their work properly, ensures work is complete, maintains a filing system, or they can maintain a shared office network drive. In other words, you're looking for a good all-around office clerk-style position. Somebody that does well in a busy office is the person you're looking for. The things you're not going to ask this candidate: can you file papers? Of course, this person can file papers. My 17-year-old son can file papers. He can open a filing cabinet and stick a paper in there. Yes, he can. He's not very efficient at it, but he can do it. Do you get things done on time? You're not going to ask this person that. Did you have lunch by noon? Well, it was 11:59 when I started it, so yeah, I got it done on time. So don't ask, can you get things done on time? Can you operate a computer? Chances are they have a Facebook account, so yeah, they have computer skills in their mind. It's a very simple question, yes or no. Things you don't want to ask. These are known as closed-ended questions. Questions that can be answered by a simple yes or no are things to stay away from. A good opposite of a closed-end questioning line, you might ask things such as, tell me about a time when you have been overwhelmed and how you overcame the situation. This allows the candidate to explain an entire scenario to you and let you know how they went about getting through it, how they overcame the stress of the situation. Or you might go with, tell me how you went about implementing a new spreadsheet to the network drive, and did you have any difficulties with it? This gives the candidate an opportunity to brag on themselves, how they designed this spreadsheet, how they saved it to a network drive, how they taught everybody about it, or how to use it. It just gives that candidate a chance to brag on themselves and let you know what kind of drive or initiative that candidate has when going about a project such as this. Or if you're looking for a candidate that can analyze their problems to determine a root cause, say like an on-the-job injury, they're looking for what was the root cause of this injury, somebody that can dig deep into a problem and come out with the very base solution to that problem. Somebody can consider all of the solutions to a problem, not just whatever the first thing that pops into their mind and they take off running with it. You want somebody that can come up with something more than just one solution, a broad range of them. Or somebody that follows up after implementation of a new project. And if need be, they can take additional action to, say, refine a process that they've come up with. You're not going to just ask this candidate, are you a problem solver? Yes, problem solver encompasses all four of the things on the left side of the screen here, but 2 plus 2, it equals 4. Hey, I'm a problem solver. It doesn't encompass all four items on the left side of the screen here. Something that would cover that range of questioning, you might ask, tell me how you have dealt with OSHA standards and workplace accidents in the past. How did you handle communications with OSHA and your company safety policies? All of this it's a long question, but it gives that candidate a long answer, something that can tell you as the interviewer how that candidate can solve a problem, how that candidate can dig deep for a broad solution or a broad range of solutions and pick the best one out of all of them. Or you could go with describe a decision you have made that wasn't popular and how you implemented it. Let's say this candidate developed a new policy at work. It wasn't real popular amongst his teammates, but he went with it anyways because it was the best decision for the company. You need to know how that candidate went about doing that and how they appeased teammates to say, look, this is the best way to do this. Finally, you might ask that same candidate, did any of these processes need refining and how did you go about it? It just gives that candidate one more chance to brag on a previous experience. So just to recap the entire process for behavioral questioning, identify your skill set. What skills are you looking for this particular job requirement? Use probing questions to find out what a candidate has done in the past with that particular skill set. Asking follow-up questions just allows a candidate to further explain the situation and how they handled it in the past. Don't be transparent in your questions. Don't ask questions that are just simple yes/no answers or questions that don't require any more thought than that of your basic kindergartner, yes or no, or anything that just can be that the candidate can dance around and not fully answer the question. Digging deeper for a specific detail. Asking a candidate, can you sharpen pencils? Well, yeah, everybody can sharpen a pencil, whether you're using a piece of sandpaper or a carving knife or a electric pencil sharp. Everybody can sharpen a pencil. Digging deeper for a specific detail, you'd ask the candidate, well, what did you do after you sharpened the pencil? Did you grab another one and sharpen that? Did you empty the little tray that's in the bottom of the pencil sharpener? What was the second thing you did after you sharpened the pencil? And finally, find out what that candidate learned from the experience of that skill. Every person, every day, learns something. Life is a continuous learning process, and everybody learns every day something. If you're talking about a particular skill set, once again, sharpening pencils, what did that candidate learn from the experience? Don't hold the pencil in the sharpener for 2.5 minutes. You end up with nothing but an eraser left over. That candidate learned that. So always identify skills, probing questions, follow-up questions, no transparency, specific details, and learning. What did the candidate learn?